Welcome back, everyone, to the next installment of Chaos Child. We might be going on a date with Arimura, kind of? To buy a new phone? Curious turn of events. Even after coming home, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I'd been practically forced into meeting with her on Sunday. I was going out shopping with a girl. Seen from the outside, would that be considered a date? But if going shopping with a girl made it a date, then I'd been on plenty of dates with Sarika and Kurisu. But a date was supposed to be the kind of thing that Cool Cat Press wrote about. That was a little different than what I'd done with Sarika and Kurisu. When I went out with Kurisu, we were always going grocery shopping and stuff. I was just there to hold the bags. You couldn't call that a date. And Sarika would just tag along whenever I wanted to go somewhere. You couldn't call that a date either. What was the exact definition of a date anyway? Two members of the opposite sex meeting at a designated time, the dictionary said. I'm literally looking up dating in the dictionary. Which meant that maybe all the things I'd done so far weren't dates and what I was doing Sunday was. But wait, I couldn't get too far ahead of myself. Even if I thought it was a date, if she didn't, I'd end up looking like a fool. But still, if Arimura did think it was a date and I couldn't escort her properly, I'd still look stupid. Minamikata's column in Cool Cat Press always said that a man who couldn't make a woman happy was scum. Wow. Scum. If it was a date, it would be good to be prepared. And if it turned out not to be, I could just change my plans. If I could just get all the how-to knowledge crammed into my head. No. No. Yikes. No. This may not look it, but this is what the peak... What was it? Peak male form looks like, or whatever it was? No! Where was he? He always showed up when I didn't want him, but now that I needed him, he was nowhere to be seen. You're gonna ask Mr. Drunk all about dating?
Ooh, Taku ka. なんだ血相変えて。もしかしてお前も一杯やりたくなったかい？
そうじゃなくて、あれの新しいのない？
あれってなんだ？
だからほら、いつものクールキャット。
I love how he like whispers it.
ああ、あれな。どうだろうな。
あるなら欲しいんだよ、明日までに。
明日まで？それは無理だな。
そう言わないでさ、頼むよ、俺なら弾むから。
How many issues do I have? And there's not one about dating. It's all about like how to get her in bed or what you do when you're in bed. I mean, I know it's a schlock magazine, but like we don't have anything on dating. October 18th, Sunday. The clock read 3 minutes to noon. I checked the time, took out a bottle of Mountain View, and took a big gulp. If I hurried, I could make it to the station in 3 minutes, so there was no need to panic. I cleared my head and opened up the March 1999 issue of Cool Cat Press that Gen had rushed out to find for me. Huh. Your first date. There we are. Your first date. A real man's choices. Let's see how embarrassing these get. This was the article I've been looking for. It had all the know-how I needed for my first date. Over the last 2 days, I'd gone through this and every other issue of Cool Cat Press to prepare myself. I was now the most normal of normals. The ultimate normal, you could say. And this is what my normal database was telling me. Arrive late. Arimura was going to kick my ass. Not only would being late keep her in suspense, it would also heighten her excitement for the events that were about to occur. I mean, I see what you're doing, but we're going shopping for a phone. For me. I checked the time again, and it was noon exactly. I took the long way around Shibuya Station and headed for the statue of Hachi. And there she was. I remembered the phrases I'd read 1,000 times last night as I got close to her. Oh no. You run up to her out of breath and say, "I'm sorry, did you wait long?" And then she'll say, "No, I just got here." Cool Cat Press, March 1999 edition. Even though we're lying, that is a normal enough thing to say.
よし行くぞ。
あ、
ごめん待った。
遅い。
Perfect.
何やってんすか先輩。女の子待たせるとか超ありえないんですけど。
You know what's really bad that I just thought about now? Well, I guess did I keep you waiting isn't a lie, but if we try making it look like we were trying not to be late, she'll pick up on that immediately.
いやその
Miyashiro, you're using 20-year-old freaking advice. Or I guess when this game was released, 15 years old.
こんなところで待たせてナンパでもされちゃったりしたらどうしてくれるんですか。さっきだってもうちょっとで声かけられるところだったんですからね。
This didn't make sense. I'm off script. Now what do I do? Cool Cat, what's going on?
振り返って睨みつけたらどっか行っちゃったからいいけど、あのままだとすっごーく嫌な思いするところだったじゃないですか。
ごめん。
まあいいです。次からは気をつけてくださいよ。
はい、わかりました。
Now here's a question. Are we going to double down on future Cool Cat advice and just keep stumbling? Or are we going to learn our lesson? That one just didn't happen to work out. Well, this answers that question. Next time it will work for sure.
そういえばその服なかなかいいな。
Cool Cat dating tip number 2. Praise her outfit. But do we believe it? Every girl loves compliments. Her clothes or hairstyle, it doesn't matter what. Just tell her it looks good.
あれ、この服前も着てましたけど。
そうだっけ。
まったく、それって全然私に興味ないってことじゃないですか。ちょっとショック。
I mean, she's probably exaggerating, but oof.
そんなことは。そういえば髪型前髪切った。
切ってません。
I did not. It failed again. What is going on, Cool Cat?
そんじゃ行きましょうか。
そうだな。それじゃあまずはあれ。
I can't believe this sexist magazine from decades ago isn't working out. I don't know what to believe anymore. Arimura had started walking before I could say a word.
おい、どこ行くんだ。
どこってスマホ買いにでしょ。
We're going by a phone.
先輩のってどこのでしたっけ。それとも DU？ ハドバン？どっちにしてもこっちですよね。
Yikes, I don't know what any of this is. Unless HB is like LG or something. HB, short for Hard Bump, a Japanese wireless phone company. It's fictional, but alright, there it is. Famous for their marketing strategies and ability to dominate the public discourse, as well as the white dog character in their commercials. Ooh, I think I might actually... The white dog, that sounds vaguely familiar. Do? A Japanese wireless phone company. Their phones have been popular since before the days of smartphones for their unique designs and functionality, and they have many dedicated fans. And Dokono, a Japanese... Wireless, cellular, alright. A Japanese cellular phone company. They got their start with the pager business and are Japan's largest and oldest cellular carrier, famous for their mushroom-shaped mascot. I don't know these.
ひょっとして格安の SIM フリー端末ですか。だったら
Alright, back to it. SIM-free. At most large cellular phone companies, a SIM, subscriber identity module, the module that links a certain phone number to a certain phone, is locked so that a single SIM can only be used with a single phone. A SIM-free phone, however, does not have this lock on it. Since a single SIM-free phone can be used with multiple SIMs, and thus multiple phone numbers, it allows you to use your phone outside of your home country.
いや、こっちで大丈夫だ。
そうですか。じゃあ行きましょう。
Arimura nodded and started walking again. That's right. I'd been so focused on the word date that I'd forgotten why I'd originally come here. It didn't take too long at all to get a new smartphone. Once I picked up the phone and re-registered my number, I was able to pull most of my old data off the cloud. My photo was gone, but unfortunately, there was nothing I could do about that. Oh, that's right.
オッケー、ちゃんと登録しました。これで何かあった時も連絡取れますね。
Fair enough. But yeah, I forgot. We made a point way early in the game that we actively chose not to make a copy of our photo, because if we did, then it wouldn't be special anymore, which I understand, but now we've lost the photo. Also, oh my god, we exchanged numbers, even though it sounds like she's doing it for completely practical reasons, considering somebody tried to kill us both a couple days ago. The first thing I did once I got my new phone was to add Arimura's number. The problem was what to do now. I'd accomplished my goal for the day, but I couldn't just let all the know-how I'd built up on how to be a normal go to waste. First, I needed to confirm that she didn't have any other plans. But I mean, why? Do we know what we're gonna do?
あのさ、有村、この後だけど。
で、どうします？これから。
あ、
だって時間はまだまだたっぷりありますよ。せっかく出てきたんだし、このまま帰っちゃうのももったいないじゃないですか。
Damn, she's really like setting this up for us. Cool Cat has not been useful so far.
そうだな。有村さえ良ければ、この後どこかに行くってのもありかも。
Arimura spoke up before I could finish. The cafe?
じゃあどうしましょう。ちょうど時間的にお腹も空いてきたし、なんか食べにでも行きます？
Oh, well, I mean, this was bound to happen, right?
そうだな。
Here goes nothing. This was perfect. I'd had my eyes on a couple of restaurants just in case this happened. At times like this, it was important to pick a place that a girl would like. I mean, you can ask. That was what a normal boy had to be able to do. The problem was that there were too many good options to choose from. I mean, so pick one. And if it's not good, then pick something else. There was the time to consider, the location, and the weather and temperature. Cool Cat had insisted that I take all these into account. What about what you plan on eating? At this hour, every place would be pretty crowded. Okay, that's fair. We should go someplace pretty light then. For example, something we could buy and then walk around and eat. Which meant...
ここですか？
ああ、ここで売ってるキャラメルポップコーンが美味しいらしいんだ。
I mean, that's date food, but that's not, like, I'm hungry, what do we do food. This is like walking around a carnival kind of thing.
へえ、宮代先輩って思ったより流行りとか詳しいんですね。
ま、僕はリア充だからな。
How awkward is that? Can you imagine saying that to a girl that you either are dating or think you are dating? Well, I am a normal.
待っててくれ。ちょっと買ってくれよ。お待たせ。
わあ、甘い匂い。美味しそう。
さあ、食べたまえ。
Let us eat.
いただきます。
They wrote nom.
おいしい。なにこれ？これ超美味しいです。
だろ。
I hadn't spent the last 2 days looking it up for nothing.
先輩もどうぞ。はい。
I mean, I know I'm probably gonna jinx myself with this, but I gotta wonder, is just a pleasant date going to be the trigger delusion?
どう？美味しい？
Like, are we not gonna go into embarrassing territory?
うん。美味しいです。
I was stammering.
じゃあ今度は先輩から。
え？
Why was this so exciting? This was totally different than going shopping with Sarika and Kurisu. Was this what a date was like?
先輩の手 ポップコーンの粉がいっぱいついちゃってますよ。
Let's not get ahead of ourselves now.
本当だ。
ほら貸してください。
Before I could even... I knew it, god damn it. Before I could even think about what she meant, she grabbed my hand and stuck my fingers in her mouth.
これで綺麗になりました。
Did the normals do this sort of thing all the time?
ねえ先輩、ひなえ、この後買い物に付き合ってほしいな。
買い物いいけど。
やったー、実はね、買おうと思ってたものがあったの。
Something she was thinking about buying?
こっちです。
We are still going. She wouldn't tell me what it was that she wanted to buy, but we kept going further into an area meant for girls, and I was starting to feel more and more awkward.
ランチが重かったらやめよっかなーって思ってたんですけど、よかった、軽いもので。あったあった、ここです。
ここって。
先輩、まだ目を開けちゃダメですよ。
うん。
よいしょ。はい、じゃあお願いします。
Really? All this on a first day, very impressive.
先輩、どうしました？
これはまずいんじゃないのか。
Isn't allowed.
バレなきゃ大丈夫ですって。
Still, was it really okay for two of us to be in the same changing room in the swimsuit area together? I know this. There's a word for this situation. I think it's... SNEG? Well, you lost me. Sore nante eroge, or what kind of H game is that? Internet slang used to refer to situations commonly seen in hentai games. That's pretty funny.
それよりほら先輩、後ろ早く結んでくださいよ。じゃないと水着ずり落ちちゃう。
いいのか。
Remember, none of this is happening.
いいも何も早くしてくれないと。
That's how it cuts out. No, that's not going to happen. But it might be something close.
とりあえず何系がいい？この辺ならいくつか候補が。
Yeah, there you go. Just ask.
じゃあお任せします。
Well,
そうか。
I called up the map I had in my head.
じゃあ、あそこに行ってみようか。
ここですか？
あれ、確かここだと思ったんだけど。
Does the popcorn place not exist, or am I just lost? Where I thought I'd find an Italian restaurant with a delicious lunch menu, I found a ramen place. And there was a big line, too.
ラーメンですか。まあ嫌いじゃないですけど、さすがにこの列は。
だよな。
I mean, you could go elsewhere. This didn't make sense.
そうだ。この近くにもう一軒あったと思うんだけど。
Right up this way.
現在改装中。
Oh. I didn't say that online. I started to get a bad feeling. My reputation as a right-sider was in danger.
待て、確かまだ他にも。
私、あそこがいいな。ほら、いつも行く
Oh, the cafe! Hey, I got it.
ってラックスか。
あそこって月替わりのランチやってるでしょ。私、今月のまだ食べてなくて。お主らか。今日は2人か。いつもの席が空いておるぞ。
The waitress let us inside.
マウンテンビューとオレンジジュース、マンスリーランチ2つじゃの。しばし待つがよい。
We ended up coming here, huh?
やっぱり生き慣れたところの方が安心しますよね。
そうだな。
もしかして落ち込んでます？
落ち込む？なんで僕が落ち込まなきゃならないんだよ。
マニュアル通りに行かなかったから？とりあえず褒めてみたり、道路歩くときに車道側歩いたり、人気のお店をリサーチしたり。
Man, we didn't even touch the sidewalk thing.
違うぞ。それはリア充である僕にとって自然と備わっていることであって、別に特別リサーチしたなんてことは。
Oof. We just gave it all away.
やっぱしてたんですね。
Ironically, this might be the biggest compliment of all, though, because it meant we at least attempted to put effort into it. That's right. I was talking to Arimura. There was no point in trying to lie.
まあそんなことだと思いましたよ。だっていつもの宮代先輩と違うんだもん。
Come to think of it, Arimura had said something similar before.
僕ってそんなに分かりやすいのか？
すっげすけです。でもそれって悪くないですよ。
気休めはいいよ。分かりやすいとか言われて喜ぶやつなんていないだろ。
That is true, but she does like that.
気休めじゃないですよ。少なくとも私にとっては一緒にいて安心できるってのは大きいです。
それって？
ほら来ましたよご飯。ほれ注文の品じゃ。心して食うがよい。
I love this
美味
waitress.
しそう。いただきます。先輩食べないんですか？
いや、食べるよ。
How was I supposed to interpret what she just said? I kept thinking throughout the rest of lunch, but I never came up with an answer.
先輩まだ時間ありますよね。もうちょっと付き合ってもらってもいいですか？
ああ。
そんな身構えなくてもいいですって。別にどこに行くとか考えず自然で行きましょう。自然で。
And so I ended up walking around the city of Shibuya with Arimura without doing a single item on my date plan. Which ironically probably was for the best.
あれ可愛くないですか？
Oh, we actually did come here. Was there any point in just wandering around with no plans or goals? Well, I mean, being with someone is the point, right? I wasn't sure, but...
先輩はどういう服が好みです？
そうだな。僕は。
That's a good question, actually. What does he wear outside of his school uniform? Like, we never really see that.
やっぱ露出多めのとか？
違う、そういうのは。
Oh yeah, goes to show how thick I am. We're at a women's clothing shop, so that's what she meant.
まあ嫌いじゃないけど。
素直でよろしい。
I was surprised to find that part of me was enjoying it. Maybe that was just because there was no point in trying to pretend to be someone I wasn't around Arimura.
次はどこ行きましょうか？
But it wasn't just that.
そういえば先輩、知ってます？この裏に。
おい！
Suddenly Arimura fell forward and almost tripped. I quickly grabbed her hand. Good reflex.
間一髪。危ない危ない。
こんな何もないところで転ぶとか、年なんじゃないのか？
What?
しっけえな。先輩より若いですよ。まあでも一応お礼言っときます。ありがとうございます。
うん。
I felt a little awkward somehow and went to let go of her hand.
もうちょっとこのままでもいいかななんて。
And remember, this is happening. Fortunately, I still didn't have the courage to let go of her hand. Things started to feel awkward and embarrassing.
ね、あの二人見て。仲いいよね。私たちもあの二人みたいになりたいね。
I could hear people whispering as we passed them. Normally, I would have quickly moved away. But today, for some reason, it didn't bother me.
なんか不思議。
何か。
私って普段はね、いつも自分を装ってるんです。だからそのせいで本当の自分っていうのがわからなくなっちゃうんですよね。普段友達とおどけている時の自分、それとも思ってもないことを言われてムカついてる時の自分、それでも笑顔で笑ってる時の自分、どれが本当の私なのって。
I mean, I've seen questions like this before. I would argue they're all the real you. I don't act the same at work as I do when I'm at home, etc., etc., but like, I'm not living a false persona in either of those situations.
でも、なんか先輩といると自然な自分でいられる気がします。これが本当の自分だったのかなって。
I love how this game just straight up becomes a dating sim once you've cleared the normal route. Remember how incredibly messed up this game gets, and we're just not doing that now. I suddenly realized that Arimura hadn't been overly energetic today, or cold, like she was when we first met. If this was who she really was, then maybe I could feel relaxed when I was around her too. It was a different kind of peace than I felt with Sarika and Kurisu. Maybe it was just a kind of sympathy because we were both psychics, but part of me didn't think that was so bad.
それじゃあ今日はここで。ありがとうございました。楽しかったです。
Well, look at that. The sun's going down and we got out there at noon? Not bad.
こっちこそ。
Arimura and I had both seemed to forget that the whole point of this was just to get me a new smartphone. Well, I forgot this. Arimura might have used this as an excuse.
それじゃあまた。
また。
Arimura smiled a little and disappeared into the Shibuya streets. She didn't say her usual goodbye, but that was probably because this was who she really was. Yeah, she always does seem to crank it up to 11 when she's at school. I could still feel her warmth in my hand when I closed my fist. Hinai Arimura said her goodbye and walked a while before turning back. She could see Takeru Miyashiro standing in the crowd. What she just told Takeru was how she really felt. Until now, whenever she'd been talking to a friend or to a boy, she'd always pretended to be someone she wasn't. It was the same with her uncle's family, who she was staying with. Her uncle and his wife were basically good people, but she knew that at times they felt sick of her. Sometimes other people's feelings could be like a knife in your heart. And when they were good people, that only made it worse when you found out they didn't really mean what they said. Hinai had been dealing with that for years. And now, for some reason, when she was with Takeru, she felt better. Of course she hadn't felt that way when she'd met him at first. She hadn't liked him at all, in fact. He was a coward and a smart aleck. My god, when's the last time anyone said that? When I was a kid? That first impression was probably right, but she could feel something delicate within him that went beyond all that. She might have seen a piece of herself in him. The way he panicked or tried to force himself to pretend that he was calm. She found herself laughing when she remembered that, and she laughed when she saw herself laughing. To Arimura, these were all new experiences. She should have been exhausted from all the walking she'd done today, but strangely her steps were light and quick. So, that's why she was sure that someone else had done it. What? Just as she went to go down the stairs, she felt a small impact on her back. Oh yeah? 2 hands. By the time she realized she was in danger, she'd already missed a step. The world spun. She could see the sky. There was a dull pain in her arms and legs, and she could hear someone running away. Oh, that's weird. I thought this was going to be like some sort of danger, need rescue moment, but someone was just an asshole? It took a while for her to realize that someone had pushed her. It wasn't a prank. Someone had tried to kill her. Huh. Alright. 2008? I guess I'll go on until we get through the flashback.
ひなえ、どうした？食べないのか？
Yeah, remember, the date changed. It used to be before 2008.
あらあら、今日はひなちゃんの好きなものばかりなのに。
どうしたんだよ、ひな。調子でも悪いのか？
大丈夫。いただきます。
わかった。さては好きな男の子でもできたのね。
何？それは本当か？
ほら、そういう時って食べ物も喉を通らなくなったりするじゃない？
ひなえ、そいつはどんなやつなんだ？ちゃんとした男か？家は父親の仕事は？
もうあなたったら、それじゃあまるで結婚相手みたいじゃないの。そういうんじゃないわよ。
Yeah, like, yeah, I was thinking that she's a little kid. What's his family like? What's his dad do? Like, I don't know.
そうか。すまん。お父さん思わず慌ててしまって。
やだわ。でもひなちゃんもいつか素敵な人と出会えるといいわね。私があなたに出会ったみたいに。
ああ、そうだな。
Mom and Dad were smiling gently like always. Nothing had changed. But Hinai knew now that it was all a lie. It was only by chance she'd found out. On her way back from a school trip, the bus had been stopped at a light. She'd looked out the window and seen someone who looked like her mom. At first she thought she must be mistaken. She had to be wrong, because the woman that looked like her mom was walking down the street arm in arm with a young man. She looked again and again to make sure that she was wrong. But the more she looked, the more certain she became that she was right. Hinai wasn't young enough anymore to not know what that meant. She wasn't sure if she should tell her dad. If Mom was lying to Dad, if Dad was smiling while she lied to him, then that was just horrible for him. But she was wrong. Dad was cheating too.
お兄ちゃん、話したいことがあるの。
Oh, is this what happens? So this is gonna break up the family?
ひな、どうした？
Hinai was still too young to keep her parents' problems to herself. The only person she could rely on was her big brother Shingo. She told her brother everything. About Mom, about Dad. Of course he'd be shocked, at least that's what she thought. So she was totally surprised by his next words.
そうか。お前も知っちゃったのか。
Oof. Which means that he wasn't lying to her, but he was keeping secrets. Her brother knew. Her brother was the one who taught her not to lie, but he'd been lying to her too. It felt like a terrible betrayal to her. Everyone was lying. Everything around her was built on a lie. Hinai wanted the truth. But what was the truth? She was too young to know. But there was one thing she did know. Her brother had been hurt too. He'd been suffering alone, keeping a secret that he couldn't share with anyone. From that day on, the only truth she had was her bond with her brother. They were siblings sharing the same pain. That bond was what kept her going. Yeah, but again, remember, I think she lost her brother at some point. Hinai became even more dependent on her brother, and her brother responded by coming to love her even more. When Hinai was just a year or two from graduating elementary school, her brother said to her,
高校を出たら家を出る。だから、ひなも一緒に行こう。
From that day on, those words were what kept Hinai going. Her bond with her brother and her hopes of escaping her parents' lies. And that became her new future and her truth. But 6 years ago, on that day, that dream was destroyed. There was a dazzling light and a great shaking, and she found herself buried in the rubble. Okay, now we're back to the present for sure. I'm assuming the brother died in the rubble. Something happened with him, but we're back to this. We're thinking about the case, kind of. But for now, it's time to stop the installment. Well, we certainly made a lot of progress today, didn't we? We actually did go out on a date with Arimura, and it went surprisingly well. Of course, we got more depressing flashback, and someone attempted to kill Arimura. But just by pushing, this doesn't feel like the New Generation Madness stuff, so I don't know what this is. Until next time, everyone.